Hello and welcome to everyone. Vladimir the Bulgarian Cowboy Vlad is speaking, and we are now going to talk about the upcoming clash between Zelim Imadaev and Michel Pereira, which is added to UFC fight card that is slated to air on it's going to be UFC Fight Night event that is slated to air on September 5th, and Michel Pereira squares off against Zelim Imadaev. Let's analyze Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira is actually a great striker. He also has good grappling background. Now looking back at his records out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 23 wins, 11 losses, 2 no contests. Very experienced fighter. The former Serbian Battle Championship welterweight champion, one successful title defense, but yeah, that's where he won Luka Stražovski and choked out rear naked choke Lerte Costa against Carlos Pereira and Batmunk Burencorig. Fights were kinda ended via no contest, but actually he outworked. He finished many of his opponents. Looking back at his records, he showed pretty much good levels of cardio, good levels of chokes, good levels of arm bars in the early stages of his career, but then he transitioned and he adjusted his style back then. He transitioned into a real all-round fighter, but predominantly striker. And he is very, very good with cardio. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses. But Michel Pereira is a real pain in the ass, even for the elite fighters. At UFC, he only had 3 fights. He turned the lights out on Danny Roberts, lost via decision to Tristan Connelly, and against Diego Sanchez, he landed that illegal knee, which led to disqualification. The other side, Zelim Imadaev is a world-class striker. He scored 8 stoppages before joining UFC. FNG, 3 stoppages against Kenan Guliev, Yuri Zotov, Ivan Gluchak, and before that 5 stoppages. He was fighting at some powerful promotions, but then in the UFC he was outworked by Max the Pain Griffin, and Danny Roberts turned the lights out on him. To be honest, I like to watch Zelim Imadaev's fighting style and so on, but Michel Pereira is generally, when we look overall, he's kind of more all-rounded fighter. Imadaev has fair wrestling, but he's more like a striker. He predominantly strikes, and if Pereira takes him down, this might be a big problem. On the other side, Pereira outworked Diego Sanchez, but he lost due to that illegal knee. So, got to say, kind of critical. Zelim Imadaev has to win, otherwise he is going to get released from the UFC. And if the fight remains standing, I give some chances to Zelim Imadaev. But if Pereira takes him down, or if the fight goes into the later rounds, I don't think Imadaev will have chances to win the fight. And it's gonna be a fun fight. It's gonna be a good one, but I give slightly more chances to Michel Pereira. I mean, Zelim Imadaev is excellent. He can knock him out in the first 2 rounds or stop him, but I don't think he has greater chances to win the fight. So very slight advantage to Michel Pereira, but just don't be surprised if Imadaev wins. Gonna be a good fight for sure. I mean, September 5th. Let's see.